Alive, and we are at the shop today, and we are saving tomato seeds. Someone's coming in. Hello. So what we're doing today is we are saving some tomato seeds from the seed plots, and we are going to be preserving these seeds for 2026, for the 2026 season. The variety that I'm saving right now is known as Tangerine Crim. If you haven't seen the taste test of them, you definitely should check it out. But we are saving these up here, and we're basically just cutting them in half. Look at that, beautiful. So we're cutting them in half and then squeezing them into a bucket. Look at that. Becoming a green stalker. Hey, how's it going? How's it going? And Asim and August, hello, and Sadea, Avery, Michael, James, hey, how's it going? Bethel, hi from Indiana. Hey, is that weird? Bethel, Indiana? Or is that just your name? That's cool. I have some friends that live in Bethel. So, look at this. Gorgeous. This is the Tangerine Crim. So we are essentially cutting the seeds in half, or we're cutting the tomatoes in half, we're squeezing them into a bucket, and then we are fermenting them. And I thought I'd kind of just show you all the process. So, and also hang out with you guys. So for those of you that don't know, our seeds in our shop are currently 40% off. That means that while supplies last, seeds are 40% off from their normal price of $2. Why is that? Well, because we're slowly liquidating to get ready to pack seeds for 2026, believe it or not. I have you resting on, the reason why I look like I'm like reaching around to give you a hug every time is because I have you resting up against the bucket of tomatoes. So yeah, no fancy studio magic here. We're just hanging out. And so because we are trying to get ready to pack seeds for 2026, we are slowly beginning to liquidate the store of all the 2025 packed seeds. Now we do have over 500 varieties still in stock. So if you are someone that wants to get seeds for fall, if you're someone that wants to even save money and get seeds for next year, now's the time to do that. They are not going to go bad if you keep them cool, dark, and dry. We just can't legally sell them because they're packed for 2025. If they were packed for 2026, it'd be fine. It's just a packed by date, and we need to have a packed by date by law on our packets. So because of that, we can't sell them past the packed by date, but you can buy them and still plant them, and the germination rate will be barely unchanged. So if you want to go head over to MIgardener.com, you can get all those seeds for 40% off. Are these seeds GMO? No, they are not. They are definitely not GMO. Hey Dalton, real quick, are you gonna help this lady? Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I would have. I'm live streaming right now. So no, they are not GMO. They are all heirloom seeds. They are open pollinated and heirloom. That means you can save seeds from year to year and save your own seeds, and they're gonna breed true to type. So this one here, this is known as Tangerine Crim. This is it is a sun gold. This is a sun gold tomato that was crossed with a black crim. Really incredible, really, really incredible. It has, and the reason why I call it Tangerine Crim is because it gets this kind of blushy orange with slight purple streaking through it, and the flavor is ever so citrusy. It's citrusy It is really low acid, and it is just, so you get that tangerine kind of aspect to it, but then you also get the fact that the tops of the tomato have that kind of black crim shoulder to it. It's really super cool. So no, none of these are GMOs. We're swimming in tomatoes from your seeds right now, but I'm too pregnant and tired to process them. So grateful for how well it's doing, though. Well, congratulations! Congratulations on your pregnancy. Hopefully that goes well. And if you're too pregnant to process the seeds, that means you're probably getting pretty close. So let us know. Send us a message when everything comes out okay. Because I'll tell you what, garden babies are the best. We had 2 garden babies, and man, oh man, they were basically born in the garden, and they love it. They love it. Enzo and Geneva, they basically spend every waking second in the garden with us, and whether it's helping us weed, whether it's helping us harvest vegetables and fruit, or whether it's just making mud pies. I love it. Hello from North Louisiana. Love your channel. Thank you so much, Brandy. I appreciate that. And let us know. It was a good pun. Good pun there. So another question here. What happens if my tomatoes aren't ripening? Good question. I think it was John. John, I think, asked that. Good question. So if your tomatoes aren't ripening, we did just upload a YouTube short on that, but there's some pretty common reasons why. First reason, it's been too hot. Tomatoes over about 87 degrees do not ripen up. They will not produce the ethylene gas required to ripen the tomatoes above about 87 degrees. Below 50 degrees, they also will not produce ethylene gas. So I'm guessing it's not that it's too cold, but in the early season, that can be the reason. It's either too cold or it's too hot, or it is just not time for them to ripen yet. You're just not being patient enough. Sometimes tomatoes can take quite a long time to ripen up, even when they're fully mature. Now, a tomato, when it is fully, I'm trying to find one here. Maybe I won't be able to find one. Nope. Oh, yes, actually, yeah, I do. Okay, so this one fell off the plant. So this one right here is a full size, but it's obviously green. It just fell off the plant on accident, made its way into the bucket. It happens from time to time. This is what's called mature green phase. So there's the first phase, which is your blooming phase. Then the fruit sets, and you have what's called the enlarging phase. The enlarging phase is where they are firm, they're green, and they are small. But once they reach their desired size, like their genetic size, what they're genetically supposed to become, this is known as mature green phase. And at mature green phase, it can stay like this, for up to 2 months green if the conditions do not allow for it. The thing with tomatoes is they need ethylene gas in order to begin ripening, and that's what starts the ripening process. So they can just stay like this. They can just chill on the plant and basically never fully ripen. Now, obviously, as the weather starts to drop, starts to get cooler, they should start to produce that ethylene gas if it was too hot, and you're gonna have tomatoes. Now, what you can do is you can force them to ripen. They're gonna taste like a greenhouse style tomato. Thanks, Dalton, I appreciate it. There's another one that popped in there. Another one fell in there. When you're working with thousands of tomatoes, to get a couple green ones is not uncommon. So you can actually force them to ripen. Now, they will taste like a greenhouse tomato, but what you do is you simply pull them off the plant in the mature green stage. They have to be mature green, meaning they're not getting any larger and they're still green. And you can throw them on your counter, or I like to throw them in a paper bag with a couple banana peels. The banana peels will release far more ethylene gas, which will get trapped by the paper. Don't put them in plastic. Putting them in plastic will cause them to sweat and rot really fast. But paper allows them to still breathe, but it traps that ethylene gas, and that will help to ripen them up. And over the course of 2 or even 3 weeks, you're gonna have beautiful tomatoes. Will they taste quite as good? No, they won't. Now, that brings me to the next thing that a lot of you ask, which is that I sometimes will harvest my tomatoes immature and bring them inside. And that is actually a good thing to do because it gives you a few more days of shelf life. Because if you harvest your tomatoes at peak ripeness, shelf life on tomatoes, even if they are like more red tomatoes last the longest because of the acid content. Even red tomatoes will only last at peak ripeness about 4 to 5 days on your counter. Whereas you can get them to last about 7 to 9 days by putting them on a counter that's semi-ripe. Now, you're not going to get greenhouse tasting tomatoes because they've already started to blush. Once they start the blushing process, this is a widely contested topic, but it has been debunked in so many scientific studies. They do tests. They'll blindfold people, say which one was ripened at peak ripeness, which one was vine ripened, which one was greenhouse ripened, which one was fully ripened, and they have found that there is zero discernible difference. And they surveyed nearly 1,000 people in this study, and they found that the only discernible difference between a tomato that was harvested at peak ripeness and a tomato that was harvested at blushing phase, where the tomato still might have a tiny bit of green but is beginning to ripen on the plant, and then harvested to ripen completely on the counter. Those two, the only discernible difference was, see if you guys get it. Let's see if you guys get it. What do you think the only discernible difference was between a fully ripe tomato and one that was harvested at blush and taken inside to finish ripening? What do you think the biggest discernible difference was? I'll see who gets it. Nope, not seed size. Yes, there you go. Yep, Andy and Leafeon. Sorry. I will give you, Andy, I'll give it to you. You said firmness. I would texture. Texture was the only discernible difference. When harvested at complete peak ripeness, the texture is much softer. This is actually a tomato at blushing phase. You can see there is still a noticeable amount of green at the shoulders here, but we're starting to get this yellow forming on. Here's another example here. Look at this green here. See this green right here? Very good example. Nearly completely blushed on the flower end because they ripen from the flower end up to the stem end. They ripen from the bottom up. Crazy. So this flower end here is completely ripe. Shoulders are not. If you were to let this ripen on your countertop completely, give it a day or two, this would be far more firm than this one, which would be very, very squishy. And that is because the fruit begins to actually break down. The fruit begins to break down, and it becomes the flesh actually begins to kind of almost degrade. And because of that, you get a far more firm texture. So here's another example. This is the same example, but you can see both are ripe. This one is a little bit less ripe. This one is more ripe. But look at this. Far more firm, far more squishy. I'll taste this. Tastes exactly the same. Tastes completely the same. Just get a little more firm bite to it, a little more snap. It's incredible. It's an awesome tomato. In fact, the Tangerine Crème is my #1 favorite tomato of all time currently. It is amazing. So there's a little fun fact for you guys. If you have to harvest your tomatoes early, that's okay. Make sure they're at least blushing in some form, and most of the flavor will have already been developed. The only thing you're gaining by leaving them on the vine longer is texture. So why would we do this? Well, as I said, the first thing is that you are gaining shelf life. So you're actually getting a tomato that's going to last longer for you. But another reason why is because a tomato that's left outside is more prone to cracking. You might have a rainstorm coming in, or you might have some really dry weather, and then you might water your tomatoes. Or maybe you have some really dry weather and you have some thirsty birds that are looking to poke holes in your tomatoes to get the juice. Common old wives' tale is that your birds are eating the tomatoes. They're not eating your tomatoes. They're trying to get the juice out of the tomatoes. And that was also debunked numerous times. And so you're going to pull them off the plant before they hit peak softness and peak ripeness, so that you can actually protect them from animal damage and environmental damage. So it's there's a lot of reasons to justify that. There we go. Okay. How do you ferment the seeds? Great question. So we're just literally, I'm just taking them below the table here that I'm sitting at. I've got a 5-gallon bucket. Oh, shoot. Woo. Scrape those back in. Ooh. I've got a 5-gallon bucket of seeds here. Oh, that was great. Nice. I'll clean that up, you guys, don't worry. Tomato juice all over the table. Okay, so we'll try that again. In this, we have a 5-gallon bucket full of seeds. They're down there. That was crazy. I didn't spill a single seed. They all went right on the table. Yeah, and that was crazy. I didn't realize we were going to come out like that. So, yeah, oops is right. I didn't realize they would just slosh out like that. So we let them sit in the bucket with 1 part water. So whatever we extract in terms of 1 second, I'm gonna dump some tomatoes out here on the table. So whatever seeds we extract, the seeds and the gel and the juice and all that other stuff, whatever we extract, we add 1 part water to that and we let it sit. And when we let it sit, it will form a nasty mold layer. It will be very, very moldy, and you might want to cover it with some cheesecloth, something breathable, for about 4 to 5 days. The mold is important. The fermentation process is important because what we're trying to do is we're trying to break down the gel coating on these seeds. The gel coating, I can't even get it off here. It's so, well, yeah, it's like impossible. The gel coating will basically make the seed saving process very challenging. Let's see right there. So because, see, it's very squishy. And so the fermentation process will break down that gel coating, that outer membrane, allowing for the seeds to actually be saved and dried. So I'll show you what they look like. Hopefully, I think we'll take you over here. I think we can. So here's some that we already did. Tangerine Crim. And you can see they look like looks like granola clusters. We take them in our fingers and we break them apart into individual seeds. And these are dry. These are ready to be packed into your packets for 2026. So this is the Tangerine Crim. So full circle. So so this is the dry seed that's ready to be packed. Just needs to be crumbled up. And then we're beginning the fermentation process. And go. So we're beginning the fermentation process now on the second harvest of tomatoes. And those just get, like I said, they get squeezed into a bucket. We add some water. From there, once they ferment and break down, Then they will get strained off. The thing that's really cool is the fermented tomatoes actually sink. The viable seeds will sink down to the bottom of the container, whereas the inviable seeds and the pulp and the skin and any other junk will actually float. So what we'll do is we will let them ferment, and then we add a bunch of water. We skim off all that nasty stuff. We like slosh it around a lot so it like dislodges any seeds. Let it set for like 10, 15 seconds. We'll scrape off all that top junk. Scrape it right off, throw it in the trash. And we'll keep rinsing it out with water, letting it settle, and pouring off any debris, any junk, any goo or mold or anything that floats. Just keep dumping it off until we see the water get totally clear with seeds at the bottom. And then we pour that into a colander, pour that into this right here, or a sieve, sorry, not a colander, a sieve. And that catches the seeds, lets all the water strain through. We smack that onto some wax paper. Wax paper releases the seeds really easily. Let it dry, and then we package them up. Let's see. Luke, you have a stain on your shirt. Yeah, no duh. Thanks for noticing, making me feel really self-conscious. I do. This is my tomato seed saving shirt because you should see what my pants look like. My hands are covered. I wear dirty clothes. Look at my hat. You think my hat's looking nice? Look at this. You don't wear nice stuff. It's like when you mow the lawn. You don't wear your dress shoes when you're mowing the lawn. It's just you get junk when you get junk on you all the time when you're saving seeds, or you literally dump it on your lap, like you almost dumped on your lap. So things happen when you're saving seeds. So thanks for pointing out my stain. Brian, I just wanted to say hi. Hey, Brian. Love it. I love it. Don't want to say anything, just want to say hi. That's okay. I love that. It's totally fine. How long do you normally ferment them? We ferment them for about 4 to 5 days. Yep, that's about it. 4 to 5 days. How long is your seed sale on for? Our seed sale is on while supplies last. So if you go over to MIgardener.com right now, I did already kind of mention this, but I'll mention it again really briefly. All of our seeds are 40% off while supplies last. We are packing some fall seeds still. So seeds that are good for the fall garden, lettuce, kale, broccoli, cabbage, beets, radishes, spinach. We're still packing those for the fall season because as they're selling, we're basically we're still able to make a little bit of money on those, but we're not packing more tomatoes. We're not packing more peppers. We're not packing more melons or pumpkins, right? We're not packing those because there's not enough time. There's not enough time left to even plant them. So like, what's the point? Now, when stuff sells out, like I said, because of that, when stuff sells out, there's a slim chance it comes back by the end of the year. And I say slim, but most are going to come back in November for the 2026 gardening season. So the best time to save some money and to get yourself some seeds and like I said, save some money is to get it right now. There's no coupon code needed. And we are still honoring the free shipping on seed-only orders of $20 or more. So if you get $20 in seed packets, your total has to come to $20. It can't be $20 before the discount. It has to be $20 after the discount. So grab yourself, I don't know, like I'm just throwing a number out there because I don't have a calculator in front of me. I think it's like 31 packets or something like that. After 31 no, it wouldn't be 30. No, it'd be, it'd be like 17 packets, I think. 16 or 17 packets. Yes. I think it's like 16 or 17 packets. If you get 16 or 17 packets, it'll be above $20 and then it'll ship free to US and Canada, which is super crazy. Are tariffs affecting your seed prices? No, they're not. Our seed farmers are located in the US, so it's totally irrelevant. Now, might it affect prices going forward because of like fertilizer cost? 100%. But our prices aren't changing. For 2026, our prices are still gonna be $2 a pack. We love that price point. That price point has been with us since 2020. We have not caved into doing the whole inflation fanatic thing. I don't want to say this across the board, but I think most people have come to terms with the fact that there really was not as much inflation. At this point, it's pretty much been debunked that there was not as much inflation as people claimed there was. It was just a great excuse to masquerade as a company in crisis and pass that crisis on to the consumer to make a quick buck. I don't know how you sleep at night when you do that. I think that's just crazy. I would never be able to sleep at night. So we never bought into that madness. That being said, obviously prices do always increase. But we, at a certain point, we just absorb them. We take our profit margin. We say, look, we're happy with 50% profit margin. That's what we need to keep the lights on, keep our employees, all 30 of our staff, lights on, rent paid, all that stuff, water, electricity, all that. 50% margins, it's not too much to ask, and that's definitely not overly greedy. And then over the years, we've kind of that's been dwindled down. And so, like right this year, we're probably going to be at like 38% margins. Very slim margins this year compared to where we'd like to be. I'm saying 2026, right? For 2026, our margins are probably going to be like 38, 39%. It's definitely not going to be the 50 that we look for. But that's because in 2027, we are going to have a small price increase because we can't just postage has gone up. Paper has gone up astronomically, right? Paper, postage, and wages. Like we increase wages every single year. Ask any of our staff. They've all gotten raises every single year. So, and we're proud of that. We're proud of being a place where there's upward mobility, right? As the company grows, all their wages grow as well. It's phenomenal. I love that concept. We're in this together. So we can't take that, we can't just keep absorbing that forever. So there will be a small price increase in 2027, but 2026 is fine. So just stay chill, enjoy the $2 packs of seeds, and it'll be great. What's your website? MIgardener.com. MIgardener.com. Oh, sorry. Give you another hug there. I got to get behind you. I got to get some more tomatoes. MIgardener.com. Are all your seed farmers using organic methods? 100%. 100%. They're not certified organic because many of our farmers, believe it or not, only grow on 2 or 3 acres of land, if not less. One of our farmers grows on 7 acres. We have almost 60 different farmers. So a couple farmers grow on 7 acres, a couple farmers grow on 5 acres, some grow on 1 acre. We have a suburban farmer actually based out of Chattanooga, Tennessee that grows 2 of our tomato varieties, and he grows them at his house. So he grows on like a regular suburban lot in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And so he grows just 2 tomato varieties for us. He bags the flowers up so they don't cross, and he grows on less than a half acre. So when you're that small, getting certified organic is very, very expensive. It's an incredibly expensive process. So what we simply say is, look, we trust our farmer. We trust our farmer. And since we can trust our farmer, we don't need to have some outside body that in a lot of cases was intended for good, but has turned into a money grab. That's might be a hot topic opinion, but I think it's fairly true. I've experienced it myself, where they say, oh, you got to come into a 5-year monitoring process, and the permit fee is the permit fee is $2,000, but then, you know, you have to send off samples, and those samples are our labs, but you know, you pay us, and we'll let it, you know, we'll give you this label, and then you look at all these other companies that are like, you know, they have all this like shady stuff going on. It's like, well, how are they organic? And like, well, because it doesn't have to be 100% organic. Only 70% has to be organic. But just as long as nobody knows and we get our green dollar bills, we won't really make a big fuss about it. That's a huge problem. And so we just know our farmer. We understand our farmer. We know how they grow. All of our farmers grow organically, right? Not certified organic, but they grow with organic practices. They all practice regenerative farming, meaning they actually cycle through their plots. They don't farm the same area time and time again. They will practice like crop rotation. And so that way they don't deplete their soil. Gotta get some more tomatoes. Let's see. There we go. Oh, getting down to the bottom of that one. Kind of got a few tomatoes split open, and it's got some nasty in the bottom. Let's see. Yeah, the level of trust I have with our farmers is great. You know, there's many times where I will have them jump on like a FaceTime or a Zoom call, or in the case of like local farmers, we just walk their property. We quite literally just say, hey, can we plan a visit? Can we come see how you're growing? And it's like, you know right off the bat if you can trust someone based on their defensiveness. If they're like, no, I'd prefer that we don't go back into my field, and I don't know, I'm not sure. I had something kind of come up. I'm feeling a little under the weather. Don't come to my farm. I'm like, no, might you be? I don't know. I just trust my intuition, really. So typically, farmers that are like, absolutely, come on out. We'll have a cup of coffee, talk about seed saving. Let's see how we can help you out. You know, we've been third generation farmers, and we're moving into seed production. So we'd love to grow some seed for you. Come on out. We'd love to host you, and bring the kids. You know, they'll have a lot of fun riding on the tractor. Like, green flags all around. So we trust our gut. We trust our gut a lot, and it has never, ever steered us wrong. Can I see the tomatoes that you are de-seeding? Yeah. So, yeah. So these are known as tangerine crim. They have this like kind of like ever so slight purple shoulder to them. It's purpley spot up here. It's a grape, or not a grape. It's like a large cherry tomato, a little more elongated. And they are so incredible. Here's one that's a little bit less ripe. As they ripen, they lose that purple quite a bit, to where when they're fully ripe, they just have a little glimmer of it. That's that black crim coming through. It's incredible. So nice. And you get, sorry guys, it's, for those of you that don't know, here in Michigan, it is ragweed season. Oh, man. Ragweed. Ooh-wee. Honeybees love it. Your boy Luke doesn't. Man, it's brutal. I think I've sneezed today 25 times at least. That might not be exaggeration. That might be under. It's been horrible this year. Absolutely horrible. The ragweed this year has been just bad. But at least we got some rain. We got some rain the other day. Much needed rain. So we can't complain about that. Yeah, yeah, you like those? Yeah, they are really super cool and they're beautiful, juicy. These are just a cherry tomato, so they're really nice. But yeah, we are saving these up, and so I'm just cutting them. Like I said, you can see what I'm. There we go. See, I'm cutting them up right here, taking them and I'm squeezing them into a bucket. And I'll tell you what, I'm not doing it with gloves, but I sometimes regret not doing it without gloves because the acid from the tomatoes, even low acid, um, I'll I'll get tiny little blisters from just the amount of acid that my hands are always being exposed to when I'm saving tomato seeds. But what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Sometimes I'll just, if I don't have that many to do, if I'm doing it like the whole day, I'll throw on some latex gloves. But as is, I just give them a good squeeze and dump them in, and I'll wash them off later. But I gotta get the very bottom of this bucket. Like I said, I have you resting on the bucket that's holding the tomatoes. So I gotta get the rest of my tomatoes out. Are you just squeezing the tomato? Yes, I am. I'm just squeezing the tomato. Yep. I'm quite literally just squeezing the tomato because the thing is when you squeeze them, it pushes the seeds and the gel up, and then I squeeze them. I just give them a good, I just forcefully kind of slap it down, and the seeds and the gel go flying into the bucket, and then I'm left with a bunch of skin. Now that's not going to get wasted. We will take all this tomato, like pulp. A lot of it is way past its prime for consumption. So don't think it's going. Just because we're not consuming it doesn't mean it's not getting consumed. We have 2 neighbors at the farm. Their chickens absolutely go crazy for this stuff. So we take all this tomato slop, no better way to put it, and we give it to their chickens. And then also we will take some of the tomatoes. That are nicer, and the ones that are real nice, we will make like tomato sauce with them. So those, like, we're not going to make tomato sauce with these ones here because these are cherries. But if we're saving like a paste tomato and they're really high quality and they haven't gone soft and gotten fermented, like a lot of these have gotten fermented because we leave them on the vine as long as possible because we're saving them for seed. We're not saving them for tomatoes. We're not trying to get the world's prettiest tomatoes. We're trying to get the world's best high quality seeds. And so that a lot of times they like burst open when we drop them in the bucket, or they crack or whatever. Or they might have a tiny little bit of funky funk on them. And that's it's not something that we want to save for food. But the chickens go crazy for them, absolutely crazy. Will you make a video tasting the 20 varieties? So we did make a video tasting some. You should go check that video out. We have it on our channel. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. I think it's called The World Is Not Ready for This. I know, a little clickbaity, but if I don't add a little bit of spice and seasoning to my titles, you guys don't click them. You guys don't click my videos. Some of you do. I know some of you do. I know some of you guys have notifications turned on, but some of you don't. And I see the stats. I can see the stats. I know that about 60% of you don't have notifications turned on. So that means 40% do, 60% don't. And so I know that there's 60% of you that probably missed that video. So go check out that video. It was called The World Is Not Ready for This, where I am actually tasting not all 20 of the varieties, but I think I taste about 5 or 6 in that video. And really, really fun. At work, well, I don't know, at work, I don't know, at work what? I am currently at work. I'm at our office. But I did not do the video at work, if that's what you mean. I did that at the farm. It smells like tomato guts because I'm squeezing tomato guts. It's a very potent smell. Can you start fall crops right after the summer season with the same soil? You definitely should re-amend. You definitely should add some compost. You definitely should add some, trifecta fertilizer or any type of all-purpose fertilizer. We use trifecta, but you should really use any type of fertilizer to re-amend the soil. And then you should be good to go to replant. But without re-amending, definitely not a good idea. Okay. Just checking in. Looks like you're busy. Yeah, I am. I am busy, Pete. But I'm not too busy for you. I got these tomatoes. Okay. I got like 8 tomatoes left, and then I gotta head out. So as soon as I'm done with these tomatoes, I gotta sign off because I have to get ready. I gotta get cleaned up. I gotta get ready to answer some emails, phone calls, and other stuff before the day is over. So I got a little bit of time left. Got a couple minutes. So try to answer as many as I can. What a hoot. Thank you. I always thought I was a little bit of an owl. My peppers took forever this year. Yeah, sometimes they do. Sometimes if the weather's not really, really warm or you're getting some overcast days, all the smoke from the wildfires and stuff has really slowed down the growth on some of our stuff. But tomatoes have seemed wildly unaffected. You look like a tomato by now, though. Yeah, I feel like one. Sometimes I look at a tomato, I'm like, I don't want to see another tomato ever again. When I'm saving tomato seeds, I mean. This is like, yeah. Hello from Denmark. What's going on, Denmark? Hey, I love that. That's cool. Welcome. Is this like a normal day for you? It's a normal day this time of year. We don't do this all the time, but yeah, this is a normal day for me. Like this is just a normal day at the office, just squeezing some tomatoes. Yeah. Yep, just a normal day. Let's see. What is your favorite tomato variety? The one I'm saving, by far, undoubtedly the one I'm saving. It is known as Tangerine Crim. It is amazing. It will be available for sale for 2027. Or sorry, 2026. Whoa, sorry, 2026. It'll be available for sale 2026. So I'm going to show you guys the little last bit of the process here. I got 2 more. I got 2 more. Okay. And then I got to go. So, all right. So cut these. Then we will give a squeeze. There we go. Yeah, no, if oh, that's fine. You totally, if you gotta go, you gotta go. We're gonna have a video up tomorrow. So there we go. All right. So those are all the tomato guts. And then we got all these. So we're gonna take them in here. And we are going to get in some water. I'm going to add about 1 part water to my tomato guts. Like that. There we go. And then that will sit, and that will ferment for about 4 to 5 days. And that sits over here with all the others. Just like that. So there you guys go. There's a quick little seed saving tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed. I got to fly because I'm a little bit behind. That took a lot longer than I was expecting. But I love you all so very much. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Also, make sure to go check out MIgardener.com if you want to save 40% on seeds while supplies last. No coupon code needed. You all are the best part of my day. You all make work more like play, so I don't feel like a day's work. And I appreciate all you so much for coming along for this fun little live stream. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. Love you all so much. Sorry I couldn't answer every single comment. There are quite literally several hundred of you commenting, and because of that, I can only answer so many. But I love you all so much, and thank you guys so much for your support as always. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Hopefully your gardens are bountiful and you're feeling great about how this year is going. And we'll catch you all on the next episode or live stream or wherever I see you. So as always, this is Luke from the MIgardener channel, reminding you all to grow bigger. Take care. Have a good one. Bye, guys.